Hi everybody, Mike with Enviroscape LA, and today I'm here to talk to you because we're getting so flooded with calls. There's a drought, there's a mega drought, and so people are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to switch to drip irrigation. So we can't be everywhere. I get a call the other day from San Francisco, and that's why I thought I was really just thought I was moved to make this video because homeowner, this is how the conversation went. He said, hey, we're in San Francisco, South Bay, South Bay of San Francisco. And obviously we don't travel, 6 hours to 5-6 hours to do irrigation jobs. So he said, he watched our YouTube videos and great. He said his gardener installed Rainbird copper shield technology drip irrigation. He said, but Mike, are you sure this works? And I said, my question to him was why? And he said, well, we have dry spots. Dry spots, that's not a good thing. I asked him, okay, well, you use the right kind of drip irrigation, the Rainbird copper shield technology, but let me ask you a question. What was the spacing on the drip irrigation? So for example, we just installed this. It's not completely done yet, but we just installed this. This is the Rainbird drip, and you notice there's an emitter right here. Water, when we turn it on, it actually comes out of here, and then you can measure it every 12 inches. Here's the next hole, so that's 12 inches. My boot is roughly a foot, and so here's the emitter, and then here's an emitter. So it comes out about every 12 inches. Well, the homeowner told me, well, we wanted to save money, so we got the Rainbird copper shield technology, but it was the 18-inch spacing. Well, let me tell you something. The 18-inch spacing is for when you have big mature trees, botanical garden, for example, and the big trees have a very big space, so they don't need as much water, but they need it infrequently, but they need a deep watering. So that's when you use it. You don't use it at your house. Don't use the 18-inch copper shield technology unless you have like a 5-acre property, an orchard, then that's something different. Okay, then I asked him, what spacing did you have? So for example, I just said that the holes here are 18 inches, but we also put, 12 inches, but also my foot is about 12 inches, so these these lines are roughly 12 inches. So you have to build a grid that goes straight down across the whole lengthwise of the planter, but it has to be every 12 inches. His response to me was, well, we wanted to save on materials and costs, so we did it every 18 inches. Don't do that. Don't do it 18 inches. Don't buy the 18-inch stuff for your house. Buy the 12-inch spacing every 12 inches, and also when you install it every 12 inches. Okay, so that's number one point. If you're going to work with your gardener, buy it from your irrigation supply house, the professional irrigation supply house. Don't go to the big box stores because they don't even carry this stuff. Google Rainbird copper shield technology distributors and they'll tell you where you can buy it. Okay, the next thing is use the Rainbird valve. This valve here actually has an LFV, low flow valve. We've been getting calls from homeowners who are saying that not this valve, but their system that their gardener put in does not shut off. Now, a valve has a diaphragm in it right here, and this diaphragm has a needle going through it. And when the timer says turn on, what this is connected to, the timer, the diaphragm actually opens up and water goes through. It takes high pressure to close it. It also takes a certain amount of pressure, high pressure, to close it. Unfortunately, with most valves, you actually have high pressure, and so the diaphragm doesn't close, and so your drip irrigation can be on for days, and you don't know if it's on unless it floods the area. You don't know it's on because you don't see it. So Rainbird has a patent. We'll take a look at it again. It says patent, and there's the patent number. The LFV stands for low flow valve, and this low flow valve is guaranteed to shut off no matter what the pressure. So we love this low flow valve. Also, with the irrigation system, you got to talk to your gardener. Make sure he puts a pressure regulator on. These hoses will blow out with high pressure, and also make sure that he puts on a filter. Very, very important. This actually, Rainbird, the valve, you can actually buy a kit. So you have the pressure regulator and you have the filter built into the patented guaranteed to shut off valve. Very, very good technology. And the last thing, if you're going to talk to your gardener, check out this box. This is called a clean out because this filter here will trap about 99% of the stuff. That other 1% goes to the end of the line. So when it does, once a year, you open up your valve, you open this up, you flush out your line for about 30 seconds, and then it's just like brand new. Okay, and then if you're gonna do drip irrigation, this looks ugly as heck. Don't just leave it like that. But check out, we just finished this planter here. We're gonna sweep this up. This is the finished product. You're not supposed to be able to see the tubes. This is this stuff called deco bark, and it actually feeds the soil, helps to keep weeds down. It looks beautiful, and it covers the drip irrigation. And so a year from now, when you start to see this, because the good bugs actually eat this mulch, then it's a sign that you need to replenish it. So it looks great, but it actually does more than just looking great. It actually does something to your soil. It actually feeds your soil. So this is Mike with Enviroscape LA, giving you some ideas on tips if you're gonna work with your gardener, exactly the things that you need. The Rainbird Copper Shield technology, drip irrigation, the 0.6 gallon per hour, 12-inch spacing. You wanna use the Rainbird, if the application is it calls for it, you want to use the valve, you want to use the pressure regulator and the filter, and use the clean out, and then cover it with mulch. Now, of course, you don't always cover it with mulch. One last point, you don't cover the drip irrigation with mulch. In some cases, as with grass, that's right, you can use this drip irrigation for grass. It actually has a you put it in every 12 inches, just like planters, but it's underneath the ground, so you're not going to put it on the ground, and then it covers, it gets covered with your grass or whatever you're going to do, carapia or whatever ground cover you're renovating. Okay, so that's it. Mike with Enviroscape LA signing off. When you think sustainability, think Enviroscape LA.